guys, Dave here again. Today we're going to put the Grim Survival axe card to use. I'm going to start off by making a handle for it, put it together, see how it works. Got my Grim Survival shirt and patch on today. I've heard the gear makes the tools work a little bit better, so we'll see what happens. As an aside, one thing I did forget to mention in the last video, on the backs of the cards, it's got kind of a peel off backing, so you can permanently attach this to some other piece of gear if you so choose. Just you know, something to keep in mind. But what we're going to do for the handle on this axe, just for quick purposes today, I'm going to start off with this basswood tree back here. You see it's got some small shoots coming off of it. That way I'm not de-limbing something and I'm not dealing with something laying on the ground that's rotten. But we're going to grab one of those shoots, starting off with using the saw on the axe card. So I'm going to pull this off just like that. There's our axe with the built-in saw. We're going to go over here and start cutting on this shoot. We're in the fall months up here in Virginia, so a lot of leaves on the ground, so I apologize in advance if there's a lot of ambient noise from the leaves. But like I said, we're going to start here. You got the saw blade on the axe. I'm going to try to cut through this chute. See how quickly that works. I think I keep calling these things shoots. I believe the proper term is a sucker, kind of like a sucker tree. There's an offshoot of the main basswood tree here. It's a good way to identify these when the leaves have fallen. There we go. Let's get that last little bit. There we go. You see it goes through pretty clean. Oops, wrong way. Can't ask for much better than that. Smooth. What I'll do here is go ahead and take this off again right below this fork. Let's see, let's go ahead and use the saw for this as well. Alright, I've got my length of basswood here. Cut it way too long, but I think I'm going to take probably the end here, about where my finger's at. Again, use the axe card saw, cut through about here, and then we're going to put us a notch in the end to slip that card into. And I'll move the camera down here so you can watch what I'm doing. Again, I'm going to use that saw back on the axe. Got a little dirt in here earlier, so just ignore that. Alright, now what I want to do Now that we've cut through this piece of wood here, I want to take and make a notch across the top here, so that when we're done we can fit the blade down inside the handle. So we're just going to start, I don't know, say right here, kind of halfway, and start us another cut. Alright, so I'll split the handle so that we can get this axe blade down inside of it. Now we can take some of that cordage we made in the other video and tie this off. Alright, and again, like I said, basswood is definitely probably not the ideal wood for this. It's just something that was here and something I knew would cut quickly. I didn't want to spend here all day cutting on a piece of oak or hickory or something like that. But you can see it works just fine. It worked actually quicker than I imagined it would. And keep in mind, these are tools, they are not toys. Okay? Don't let yourself get distracted watching cats play around or whatever the heck's going on at your place. And watch where you're putting your hands. So anyway, no big deal. But what we'll do, find the end of this cord here. See the where the card already has the included holes. Just run some of that plastic cordage that we made from the soda bottle. Start wrapping it around through the blade and around the stick here, and we can secure it. So I'm going to get this tied off so I can see what I'm doing, and we'll come back. Alright, so the plastic cordage I made and tried to use on this axe wasn't quite sturdy enough for the axe. You know, it'd still be great for lashing items down, you know, securing stuff, you know, plenty of other uses. But as much pressure was getting put on this axe head on the handle, it just didn't quite hold. So I went and grabbed some bank line from my pack, secured it on with that. Good to go now, which I'll show you. But I was going to say also, alternatively, you know, I took the saw blade and made a channel for the blade to go into the handle. You know, you wouldn't have to take the time to do that if you didn't want to. You could just drive this handle or drive the blade or hammer the blade into the handle. You know, take another stick, just drive it on there if you wanted to. You know, probably a heck of a lot quicker. I just didn't really want the wood to split. You know, wanted to have a good secure connection. The good thing about using this saw blade to cut the wood is it's going to make your cut the same width as the blade, but you know, whichever way you want, doesn't matter. This is some more of that basswood we were using earlier. You kind of, yeah, there we go, that's in camera, right? You can kind of see it's going to cut right through. Works great. You know, you're not going to take down a tree with it. This is a light duty hatchet, but man, it's definitely practical. You can use this to make a lot of other tools, you know, from the ground up. One thing I'll probably do, you know, try out, if you notice, the edge of this axe blade is the same thickness as the rest of the axe on the card, so it's not really a sharp blade. So, you know, in the field you could take a rock grind it down, you know, profile the edges down. Take a sharpening stone you might happen to be carrying. You know, if you've got time to prep and do it, use a grinder, whatever. But you know, I think I'm going to do that just to see what kind of edge you can put on it. That way, not only will your hatchet be sharper, but you know, I like tools that can function as multiple tools. So a good thing would be if you don't have it in a handle, or don't want to put it in a handle yet, you know, it could be a handheld carving device for finer woodworking. But anyway, very, very cool tool. It definitely holds up. We can take it and chop through a lot of stuff with it if we want to. Again, nothing super big, but it's going to get the job done for, you know, quick purposes, you know, small purposes, making other larger tools to use. I don't see this thing wearing out. You know, I'm super pleased with this. It's again, going back to the other video, this is a $20 card. That's definitely worth it. You know, definitely worth it to be able to put it in your pocket, in your wallet, in your bag, to always carry, you know, to always have with you, you know, as opposed to carrying a full-size hatchet around where you may not be able to. You know, you may not always have a full-size hatchet or a axe on your belt. Check them out, grimsurvival.com. You know, just awesome stuff. Thanks.